Howdy. So one thing about me that you probably wouldn't be able to tell by looking at me is that I try to keep healthy. I take about 3 to 4 cardio dance classes a week because it's fun and that is the type of exercise that works best for me. But I would not consider myself an athlete by any means. My mile time? Ass. My upper body strength? Ass. My core strength? Ass. My ass? No ass. But there was a fitness event that was happening in Los Angeles over the weekend, and that event was called Fitness Expo. If you have never heard of it, Fitness Expo, as the name implies, is a convention centered all around fitness. They tend to have a lot of booths that offer free samples of protein powder, pre-workout, healthy food in general. You can also buy full-size packages of these products at the booths. They also sell activewear, gym equipment, things of that nature. And also there's plenty to do as well. At Fit Expo, you'll often find a variety of competitions. Lifting competitions, arm wrestling competitions, parkour competitions, Muay Thai competitions, things of that nature. And also fun little challenges for regular people to enjoy too. And when I say regular people, I just mean people who aren't like athletic per se, someone like me. And they also have a lot of cooking demos by celebrity chefs, and that is great because they also tend to offer free samples of those too. I attended Fit Expo for the very first time last year and I had a blast. So I thought that this year I would go again and show all of you guys what it is like to attend Fit Expo as an extremely ordinary person like me. So grab a healthy snack because I am about to tell you about my 2024 Fit Expo experience. So first off, let's talk about some event basics. Gotta check my records here. I paid $27.63 for each day ticket and I went both days. So that totaled out to $55.26, which is honestly a pretty good deal in my opinion because there's a ton of freebies and a ton of stuff to do. I should mention though that I did manage to get 10% off of my tickets because I did steal a discount code from 24 Hour Fitness. So that did contribute to my discounted price. For parking, there was parking directly at the convention center, but that was $30 per day, and that is too expensive in my book. So we did find a lot that was like less than a block away, and that was $10 a day. So we went with that option. It wasn't even like a block away from the $30 parking, so also good deal. That is a pro tip, by the way. If there are any events in Los Angeles, never park directly at the venue. You can usually find cheaper parking if you just walk a block or so. The event itself was from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. and we did want to get there nice and bright and early, but unfortunately on Saturday, I did have explosive diarrhea all morning, so we did not get there at 10 a.m. Let me also tell you too that there are a ton of places in Los Angeles that do not let you use the restroom. That sucks, especially if you're having an explosive diarrhea situation. We gotta fix that, LA. I did eventually manage to find a McDonald's that would let me poop at their fine establishment, but like the worker literally had to buzz me into the bathroom. Stop moving here. It's terrible. And also we were a little late because I insisted on getting churro French toast bites at my favorite brunch restaurant. But anyway, here is some of my footage from day one of Fit Expo. As you can see, there's plenty of space to walk around, plenty of booths for you to look at. And the first booth that my partner and I visited was the Air Force booth where they were having this fun rescue mission challenge. They had this booth and challenge last year as well, so we were pretty excited to do it again and see if we could beat our scores. Basically, you're pretending that you're rescuing someone from like the top of a mountain or something. So you have to hold on to this rope while you're kind of like walking vertically, climbing. I don't know what the correct term is. And honestly, that shit was hard on my arms. Like I mentioned, I have no upper body strength. So my arms were like shaking by the end of that challenge. My legs were fine. I mean, I could only take little steps because I am under 5 foot. My little legs aren't gonna go anywhere really. But my arms, oh my God, it felt like jello afterwards. I did manage to reach an elevation in the triple digits though, so I'm gonna take that as a win, especially considering last year my score was about, I wanna say 60 feet. This time, first try, somewhere around 100 feet, pretty good. I might be able to rescue someone if they're on a very short hill. My partner, of course, did try the challenge as well, and he crushed it, even if he did lose a shoe. I attribute it to him being above 5 feet and nothing else. What are you doing? Don't look at his arm muscles. Don't look at his arm muscles. There is also a rock climbing wall, and let me tell you about this rock climbing wall. So I have never completed a rock climbing wall. One, because of course my upper body strength sucks, but two, I am terrified of heights. If I look down from anything above the second floor of like a building, I start to get the shakes. I'll start shaking, I'll start sweating. I work on the 9th floor at my company, and it's not a fun time when I look down. So I make it a point to never pass by any windows. It's hard to work there. But yes, so what ends up happening every time I do a rock wall is I'll get pretty high up, but then there will be some point on the wall where I can't figure out where to place my hand next, or I can't figure out where to place my foot next. So I'll look around to see where I should place my foot, and then I'll look down, and then I freeze, and then eventually my arms fatigue, and then I end up falling. And that is why I have never completed a rock climbing wall. So I made it my mission during this convention to make it to the top at some point. Any point really. It just had to be before the convention ends. I had to make it to the top of the rock climbing wall. Now, I did not succeed during my first attempt, but I was determined to try again until I got it. But anyway, that was my goal for the convention. I did not achieve my goal on day 1. At least I had day 2. But anyway, besides rock climbing, we also watched Chef Andre Rush do a cooking demo. If you are unfamiliar with Chef Rush, he is a former White House chef. He's super huge on Instagram and all the other social medias. I am a huge fan of his, so we were very excited to go watch his cooking demo, and he is such a sweetheart. Yeah, I met him for the very first time last year at Fit Expo, and when I first met him, I knew nothing about him. Like, absolutely nothing. I hadn't even seen any of his videos, like, on any social media, but just meeting him for that first time turned me into a super fan. I don't know, he just has such a cool vibe, and he's, like, so nice. He gave me a big ol' hug, and I ended up buying his book and getting it signed by him. For his cooking demo, he made a curry chicken dish, and I'll try to put like a vague recipe in the description. He did not talk about proportion sizes while he was cooking, but I will put down what I gathered from the demo in the description below. I mean, honestly, who needs exact proportions, you know? Just feel out the ingredients, really. But speaking of meeting fitness influencers with good vibes, my partner also met Joey Swole at the event. If you're unfamiliar with Joey Swole, he is also a fitness influencer who makes a lot of content regarding gym etiquette and gym positivity. I didn't know too much about him either when I went to this convention, but we went to go meet him. I snapped a picture of my partner and him, and you know, since I didn't really know the guy, I was good on pictures. You know, I wasn't really planning on talking to him, but he specifically went out of his way to greet me and get my name. I am huge on little gestures like those, so you know what? Consider me also a huge Joey Swole fan. We also stopped by the Army booth, which was having this deadlift challenge. So the challenge is that you had to hold this deadlift, it was about 200 pounds I want to say, for 90 seconds. And if you can hold it for 90 seconds, they will give you a shirt. My partner achieved this challenge last year, and he was determined to win another shirt. Except on Saturday, he did not achieve this challenge. So my partner made it his goal to achieve this challenge by the end of the convention. Other than that though, we spent most of the first day just walking around, checking out the booths. We got a lot of free drinks, free snacks from a lot of the booths that were around there. I also bought some activewear, like the one that I'm wearing now. There is this booth that was selling like, actually, there were 2 booths, I think, that were selling like metal themed activewear. So I had to get this set because it was just so cute. I probably won't use it all too much for fitness because, you know, Southern California is kind of hot. And also I tend to sweat like a sinner in church whenever I work out. So really, crop tops and shorts are the vibe for me whenever I work out. But this will probably make very sweet loungewear. Towards the end of the day, I also tried out this punching cardio game that they had set up in one of the booths, which made me look like a total doofus, especially because the left side was not registering my punches. Look, I know I'm weak, but I don't think I'm that weak, okay? But it made me feel stupid, especially because, you know, since it wasn't registering my punches, I'd like fling my body towards that left side, and I just looked so pathetic. So I did not try that one ever again. But that was pretty much the first day. Now, while I did have fun that first day, I will say that I was just a little disappointed, mostly because last year I felt like they had more activities for non-athletes like me, like more activities that you could just jump into without having to sign up for like a competition, you know? For example, last year they had a mechanical bull that anyone was just free to ride. I was looking forward to that this year as well, and I even did not do my makeup all that much on the first day for that exact reason. I didn't want to like wear too much eyeliner or wear false eyelashes, because I mean, if I'm gonna get messed up on the bull anyway, rather not. But then the bull wasn't there, so I looked ugly for nothing. They also had pickleball courts set up last year, and that was replaced this year with the Muay Thai competition. So that was yet another thing taken away from non-athletes. Criticism aside though, I think that first day was still really fun, and I felt like I got a lot of good physical challenges in. Seriously, my body was so tired that I could barely even play with my slimes at the end of the day. More on that later in a future video. But anyway, that was just Saturday. Sunday would be a slightly different experience. Now, on Sunday, luckily I was not plagued with explosive diarrhea, so we were able to get to the convention on time. Of course, after I got some very tasty French toast. And because we got there early, my partner tried to sign up for the arm wrestling competition that would be taking place that day. And he was able to sign up, but then we found out that there was a $40 registration fee for this competition. And, you know, I can understand registration fees, but the problem is though, is that we had no idea that there'd be a registration fee. Now, of course, that could just be my fault because I didn't really like plan ahead of time and I didn't look on the website beforehand to see if there were any registration fees. But I checked again afterwards and I could not find anything about a registration fee for these competitions. So that's kind of weird. But yeah, the $40 registration fee was a bit too pricey for my partner and I, so sadly he did not get to compete, which he was very sad about. We also ended up meeting up with my partner's coworker and his fiance, Charlie and Adri, and we all decided to give that Air Force challenge another go. Now, I did worse the second time around. I think it was because my arms were just so tired from the day before. They did not get enough time to rest, and so I was already fatigued. Same with my partner though. I think he was a little fatigued, so he ended up getting a worse score as well. Our friend Charlie though, he ended up getting an awesome score. I think it's because he is the tallest out of our group, and he did it all in skinny jeans, which is a feat in itself, honestly. I attempted the rock climbing wall in the morning again, but I did not make it up there again. My arms did end up getting tired and I ended up falling. The lady who was overseeing the rock climbing wall though, she was really rooting for me though. She was a sweet elderly woman, and she actually suggested that I try without my big old clown shoes, because I was wearing big old clown shoes because I like to appear taller in person, and also they help my feet feel good after a long day of walking. So keeping that advice in mind, I was prepared to try again later with no shoes. Yeah, so I left the rock climbing wall to let my arms rest a bit, but I was more determined than ever to make it to the top. I had to that day. While I was resting my arms though, at noon there was a dance class, and like I mentioned, I am all about the dance classes. So I went to the group class stage and attended this dance class. Now, it was a really fun dance class. The MC was great. He had a lot of energy, which I enjoyed. And at the end, they had this little dance competition thing to win $50. And he said, go as wild as possible. It doesn't matter if you look good or bad. Just whoever goes the hardest wins the $50. So I went hard. Now, am I good at freestyling? No, but I just tried to make up for it with energy, and I didn't win the $50. I was so sad. But I mean, I'm not the judge, so oh well. What am I gonna do, huh? You just gotta take the L's sometimes. I was supposed to take a Zumba class right after this, but honestly, I put my entire pussy into that performance, so I was too tired to continue. That was the end of the group classes for me that day. Now, because I was so hot and sweaty and tired, we all decided as a group that this time would be the best time to try out the cold plunge that they had at one of the booths. Now, my partner tried out the cold plunge last year and he liked it, and I heard that cold plunges have a lot of benefits supposedly for your body. I don't know. Regardless of that, you gotta try everything at least once, right? So I set out to try this cold plunge. And how did it go? No, I absolutely hated it. So I have seen fitness influencers talk about how great cold plunges feel before. I was so looking forward to that. And did I feel good after the cold plunge? I mean, sure, but like it was the same type of good feeling you get when like you've been out in a cold winter day outside for the entire day, and then you finally get to be inside where there's like a heater and warmth. I felt that same relief. Now, did I need a cold plunge to feel that relief? In my opinion, no, but you know, it could just be how my body reacted to it. Different bodies, different reactions, and everyone has a different body. I mean, my partner still loved it. Did our friend Charlie like it? I don't know. I don't think he did, to be honest. Would I ever do the cold plunge again? Hell no. But like I said, you gotta try everything once, and I'm glad I at least got to try it, so that way I could say that I tried it, and now I never have to do that again. After the cold plunge, we tried to take this sword class. They had like a whole array of very large swords that all resembled the same sword that like Guts has from Berserk. And basically in the class, they were teaching you how to like do various thrusts, how to do various poses with the sword, which would have been a really freaking cool class, except I could not lift any of the swords to save my life. I tried so many swords. And yeah, sure, yeah, they had smaller ones there, but like, I don't want to be the only person there with a teeny tiny sword and everyone else has the Berserk sword. Just not gonna embarrass myself like that, okay? So I ended up bailing on that class. But anyway, we had been getting all of the free food and free drinks that we wanted. We were getting kind of done with the con. So at that point, I said that it was time for me to finally achieve my goal of reaching the top of the rock climbing wall. So we headed to the rock climbing wall. I took off my shoes like the lady suggested, and she could have just been wanting to smell my feet. She could have been an absolute weirdo, but I was willing to risk it all if it meant I achieved my goal. And I climbed, and I climbed, and I tried not to look down, and I climbed, and I climbed, and I ended up reaching the top.
Hell yeah! Woo!
So I am proud to say that I have finally reached the top of a rock climbing wall. But of course, we couldn't leave the convention without also achieving my partner's goal as well. So what we did is we found where the arm wrestling contest was, and we stole some chalk and rubbed it on his hands. And with the power of chalk, my partner was able to deadlift for more than 90 seconds.
130, 130, hold it! Hold it! Hold it!
Now, did he win the shirt? No, because they ran out, so he got a water bottle instead. But hey, at least he achieved his goal too. So you know what? Winners all around. After we both achieved our goals, we were pretty much done with the convention, so we left a bit early and treated ourselves to some delicious all-you-can-eat Japanese barbecue afterwards, thus concluding our 2024 Fit Expo experience. Now, I had a lot of fun at Fit Expo. I think that this convention is great for ordinary people or non-athletes like me to fully enjoy. And also too, athlete, non-athlete, I think the convention is a great way to introduce yourself to different forms of fitness, especially if you're like someone who kind of struggles to find the right kind of exercise for you. This could be a great gateway into introducing you to the type of fitness that works best for you, especially because they just have so many free classes, so many demos that you can try out. Yeah, I didn't talk much about the group class stage because, like I said before, I'm mostly interested in dance classes, but they did offer dance classes, they offered yoga classes, they had some booty workouts, they had some strength training, they even had like a trampoline class at some point. So they offer a great variety of things for you to try out. There are also a lot of booths that were selling gym equipment for like very low prices. I saw this one booth that was like selling their equipment that featured like a pull-up thing, and you could also do suspended push-ups, and that machine was going for like 60 bucks. Now, I don't buy gym equipment regularly, but it sounded like a pretty good deal. And like I said before, you get so many snacks and drinks for free. Honestly, the drink haul is insane. My partner and I have like enough energy drinks to last us like an entire week. And we didn't even go hard. I know that some people brought like granny carts to hold all of their free samples, and it is not looked down upon to hoard all those free samples. Everyone there accepts the free shit grind. The other thing that I like about the convention is that it is never crowded at all. If there is like a challenge or a thing that you want to try and there's a line, you could always come back later and eventually there will be no line. I did that for several of the booths I wanted to visit, and like I never really had to wait a long time for anything. The convention is also super kid friendly. They had a Ninja Warrior course specifically for kids, complete with instructors who would make sure that your kid is safe. So families, if you want to try this out, honestly, a great place to take your kids. They even had several bounce houses and a couple of like little arcade game setups for your kids to enjoy. And also there was a cute dog show there that was also cute, and I feel like kids would really enjoy that as well. Kids and adults alike. Now, cons of the cons though, like I mentioned before, I think there was less to do for the general public compared to last year. I feel like they sacrificed some of the open events to make room for more specialized competitions, like the Muay Thai competition, and also too a parkour course. Now, of course, that is a con for me because I don't do Muay Thai and I don't do parkour. And also too, I think the parkour course wasn't like a competition or anything. I think it was open for any athlete who wanted to try it out. So that could be a pro for some people who are athletic. They also had more like fun competitions last year, like a bouncy ball race challenge that, you know, was open to everyone, but they replaced those more general audience competitions with a calisthenic competition. So like I said, more specialized for actual athletes. Again, this is a con for me coming from the perspective of a non-athlete, but probably a pro for people who are athletic, who, you know, this convention is probably geared more towards anyway. The other con though is that there were a lot of hidden fees, I feel like. Like I mentioned before, we had no idea that there would be a $40 registration fee for the arm wrestling contest. Also too, our friends Charlie and Adri tried to meet Ronnie Coleman, the former bodybuilding champion, and he had a super long line, of course, because he is like a legend. And they waited in this super long line while I was doing a dance class, and when we met up with them afterwards, it turned out that they couldn't even meet him because apparently it was $40 to meet him. Now again, we didn't hear about this fee anywhere. I didn't see any signs regarding the $40 fee to meet Ronnie Coleman. I didn't see it on the website. And also too, you can meet a majority of the celebrities there for free. Like, we didn't pay anything to meet Joey Swole or Chef Rush, so we kind of assumed it would be the same for Ronnie Coleman. But, you know, it turned out to be $40, so unfortunately they didn't get to meet him. You know, it'd be nice if the convention could make those hidden fees a little more obvious, I feel like. But yeah, that was pretty much the convention. Would I go again next year? I think so. Would I go both days? Probably not, to be honest. I feel like if you plan your day really well, you can achieve everything you want to achieve in just one day. I think what I would do is I'd figure out which day is hosting more of the events I'd like to participate in, and I'd just go for that single day. But anyway, that is pretty much my 2024 Fit Expo review. Let me know what you think. Did you attend Fit Expo? Did you have a great time? Or did you not attend Fit Expo? And based on what I said, do you think you'd try it out? Let me know what you think in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, please do give it a thumbs up. And if you'd like to see more random videos from me, please consider hitting that subscribe button. I kind of do whatever I want here, but you know. Majima's here. Anyway guys, it is actually almost time for me to attend my next dance class, so I gotta go. See you next time.